I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is the Nerd Enthusiast podcast real or not? Welcome to the Nerd Enthusiast podcast. I am your co-host, Richard Eiley, here with my co-host, Matthew Morosi.
Homie, don't play that.
No, we don't. He don't play none of that. Right, Matt?
No.
Okay, very cool. Matt, guys, everyone, welcome. Welcome to you too, Matt. It's your home, but you deserve a welcome. Yes. Welcome, guys, to a regular episode of the Nerd Enthusiast podcast for 2 weeks. You guys have been very kind and watched pre-recorded episodes.
Well, they're all pre-recorded, to be fair.
That's true, but like recorded not the same week.
Right.
Usually we record, and then the very next day, Thursday, our podcast goes up.
Right.
So you guys were very generous. Thank you for giving us some time to kind of catch up on things, prep this episode of the podcast and all that. And it's just great to have everyone back. Matt, how are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling good. We just got done recording a Ghostbusters trailer spoiler cast.
Trailer
reacts.
Trailer reacts. We react to a trailer with a good friend of yours, Ida Hoagie.
Yep. So I hope you guys enjoy that.
Who has sent us questions to the podcast every now and again. Great guy. I had a lot of fun talking to him. Ida Hoagie, shout out to you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us. That was cool. But today we're talking about all sorts of stuff. We're going over our predict the Metacritic predictions from November. We're going to figure out who predicted better.
Yes.
We have a segment called Someone Eats a Dog Biscuit. I'm excited for that. We have a news roundup. We're going to talk about the state of play that just happened. Some of the Nintendo Nindies that were highlights for us. We're going to talk about what we've been playing and watching. Expect a lot of Jedi Fallen Order talk in that segment. I'm really excited about. And then we'll be talking about what remakes should be for video games, what we want out of remakes. And that sums up what we're going to be doing. I'm really excited. Before we can do anything, though, Matt, we have to play our game. Show you so you think you're Gen X.
Let's do it.
Because Matt thinks he's Gen X.
I lost bad last time. I'm ready for a W.
What happened last time? What was it?
I don't fucking know.
It was a song of some sort.
It was some sort of song.
Some sort of song you couldn't get right. It was a Gen X song.
Yeah, it was just somebody I never heard of.
It was Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, and you didn't fucking know that shit.
Would you?
I would. I love Tracy. I didn't know Tracy Chapman was a woman, which was very embarrassing. I feel terrible about that.
That was funny. That was the best part of that.
I felt pretty. I'm sorry, Tracy Chapman. I love you so much and your music. All right.
She's never gonna hear this.
So I'm gonna read off some lyrics, Matt, and you're going to try and guess what the song is from my reading off lyrics. The bass, the rock, the mic, the treble. I like my coffee black, just like my metal. With the bass, the rock, the mic, the treble. I like my coffee black, just like my metal. I can't wait for you to fuck me up in a minute, in a fucking minute. I can't wait for you to fuck me up in a minute, in a second.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah? Do you want me to sing it? Because I feel like you're not going to get this one.
Say the words one more time. Let me hear it one more time.
The bass, the rock, the mic, the treble. I like my coffee black just like my metal. With the bass, the rock, the mic, the treble. I like my coffee black just like my metal. I can't wait for you to fuck me up in a minute, in a fucking minute.
It sounds like a hip-hop artist.
The reason this song might sound familiar to you, I sing it a lot in my free time, and it's very possible in all the production stuff that we do on a day-to-day basis or week-to-week basis that I may have just started singing it out of random because it's a fun song to sing.
Yeah, I think I have heard you sing it before, actually.
Yeah. So it's possible that that's how you know it. And if that's the case, you're probably going to lose this, so you think you're Jedi.
Yeah, I'm very confident I'm going to lose this right now. Let's get some hints.
You want some hints?
Is it a hip-hop artist?
It is not a hip-hop artist. It's not a hip-hop artist. It's, I guess, I'm trying to think what this band would be classified as. I'm really bad at, like, classifications of artists.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it's rock, some type of rock.
No, that narrows it down.
It's a band. It's an American electro-punk band formed in New York in 1997. The song was recorded in 2005, which more than represents or fulfills the rules of So You Think You're Gen X.
And they're called an electro punk band?
Yeah.
Electro punk.
I think electro punk or electro punk rock.
Is that when they started getting into like the dance rock stuff? Is that what that is?
It's possible. I don't know what dance rock is.
Bass treble.
The other genres are electro punk, industrial rock, electronic rock, hip hop, new wave, and comedy rock.
Say it one more time. This will be the last time I ask you to say it.
All right. The bass, the mic, the rock, the treble. I like my coffee black just like my metal.
I don't know. I'm just going to throw a stab out in the wild. Sum 41.
No. Have you heard of a band called MSI, Mindless Self-Indulgence?
I have heard of them.
Okay.
I haven't listened to any of their music.
This is I lost the song. I think it's straight to video. Doesn't matter. You didn't get it right.
Yeah, I've heard of the band. I'd never listened to any of their music.
The name of the song, I don't know. It's here somewhere. Whatever. You guys can look it up. I think it's straight to video. I hit forward on Google, and then I couldn't go back to the page I was on because I hit another link after I hit forward, so it doesn't know where the back was. You know, that whole thing.
Yep.
Matt, that means you lose. So you think you're Gen X.
I don't care.
You remained at 2 full points.
I don't feel like it's a song I should know.
Do you feel like, I don't know, how are you feeling right now with 2 points in the bank? That's it.
I feel like you don't do enough research on songs that are important from that generation.
What are you talking about?
I feel like you just pull songs out of your ass that happen to be from those time periods.
You gave me the rules.
Just saying.
You gave me the rules for So You Think You're Gen X.
Saying.
All right. You can say it.
I am just saying.
I feel like a millennial would complain about this game, but a Gen Xer would. All right. So next segment we have is.
I hope you fucking lose this next segment, you son of a bitch.
We have another game. We're going right into another game, or the results of a game that we played in the beginning of November.
Right.
I think it was October 31st. It was our Halloween podcast.
Oh shit! Was it that long ago?
It was. It was a while ago. Now you gotta wait a full month. You gotta wait a full month, baby.
You're finally gonna reap the benefits, everyone.
So me and Matt played this game called Predict the Metacritic, where we took the hot November titles before they came out and tried to predict where they would land on Metacritic score-wise.
Correct.
The 6 games in question were Need for Speed Heat, Death Stranding, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and Shenmue 3. So I have all the numbers here. I post the numbers down in a separate doc. I didn't look at who was closer or whatever. We're going to go through that together. And then once we finish this, we go into our next segment.
Right, but something has to happen before then.
Well, I mean, the next segment is, a specific segment that we go into. Basically, this segment has a consequence. You're calling that a second. It's another segment, yeah. They heard it when I went over the doc.
Yeah. So why are we hiding it now?
It's just fun. So the first one was...
The segment you know nothing about.
Exactly. Need for Speed Heat, released November 8th. Matt, you predicted it would be a 62 on Metacritic, and I predicted an 85.
Pretty large gap.
Yes. And the issue here is, this is actually going to be the hardest one to figure out. It scored very close to in between. It hit 72. So
isn't that directly in between? Am I wrong?
No, because you did 62, I did 85. It's 10 away from yours, and I think it's 13 away from me.
Okay.
So as of right now, you are ahead by 1 point. Would you do me a favor and just keep track of them?
Yeah, I got
points for me while I go through these. I'm looking at these numbers. I'm a little worried. The next one is Death Stranding, November 8th. Now, you guessed 78 for Death Stranding.
Yep.
And I guessed 92.
Another pretty good gap.
No, I guess 95. I guess 95.
Yeah,
you guessed 78. What do you think I was thinking here?
I don't know what the fuck you were thinking. I think 95 was I don't even think Ocarina of Time for the N64 has a 95.
No, that has a 97 or 98.
Okay.
It's 97, 98 are the highest Metacritic numbers I know.
Yeah, so 95 is not that far away from 97 or 98.
It didn't get anywhere close to 95.
What did it get? I'm curious because I don't even know.
Yeah, it's sitting at 82 right now.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so that's a win for you. I'm really worried about this next segment right now. Really concerned.
This is where I'm probably gonna fuck up.
Yeah. So the next one, Matt, you nailed it. By the way, that's super close. 78 to 82. Like that's 4 away. That's pretty good.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah. A Need for Speed Heat, neither of us came close.
Yeah, that was just...
It was a huge gap. It was right between us. I don't know why I guessed 85 for Need for Speed. Next one, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Tokyo 2020.
I know I lost this.
We were so close though. Matt guessed 80 and I guessed 78.
We're not too far away from each other.
We felt pretty similar to it. Actual score 69.
Yeah, definitely lower than I thought it would be. I was kind of disappointed.
We were pretty hopeful on that one. Yeah, I was disappointed too. I thought the retro games were going to help a lot with that game. I thought like all the retro like 2D. Do you remember the stuff for us?
Yeah, they have a whole 2D section in the game, and like the whole retro stuff looked awesome.
And I heard they were really good. I heard they were fun. Like additions.
That's what I heard too.
But they weren't like enough of the game to like.
Right, that was supposed to be like the best 69. Part of the game, and the rest of it was just kind of eh.
Hopefully, you know what I want? I want them to take that aspect of the game and make a whole game based around that. Just a bunch of like crossover like Nintendo retro stuff with like iconic characters would be cool.
That'd be fly.
Maybe the next Super Smash Brothers will be that. How cool would that be?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. All right, so 2 for you, Matt. 1 for me.
Correct.
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I think you probably won this one.
No. Matt, the score, we were 1 apart in terms of our...
Yeah, I said 81. Richard said 82.
Actual score, a few weeks ago, this was 82. It's now 80.
Oh, shit.
So that puts you ahead. You have 3. I have 1 score. There's no way I can come back. We'll go through the other ones because for posterity. But I have lost. Predict the Metacritic.
Just remember this, guys. You should always listen to me.
You know what's funny is you were at a disadvantage because you guessed first, and I was allowed to adjust my guess based off your guess.
That's true, and I guess
I tried not to do that too much.
What did you look at? You were looking at something. I was not paying attention.
And I was looking at Metacritic scores for past games in the franchise. Gotcha. I had way more information than you, and I still lost. Jedi Fallen...
George Bush once said, "Just gotta go with your gut sometimes."
He also said nuclear. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was the next game. Matt, you guessed 89. I guessed 92. We were feeling really excited about this game.
I was.
Yeah. Actual score lower than I thought. What do you think the actual score is?
86.
81.
Really?
Yeah.
That's lower than I would have thought, especially after all the positive reviews I've seen.
I know. I've been liking a ton, and I've been having a blast with it, and everyone seems to be really happy. But I think the technical issues in this game are so problematic.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. 81. That's another point for you, Matt. Just cleaning up now.
That's right. Just mopping the floor.
Being dirty about it.
And this shit show should have proven me well. Also, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Was it?
I don't know.
Shenmue 3 was the next game.
Yeah.
67 for Matt, and I guess 72. What do you think for Shenmue 3?
I just saw it on your computer.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
70. That's okay. 70. That's a win for me. So I got 2 points. You ended with 4.
I was only off by 1, by the way, on that one.
Yeah, you're pretty close. All right, yeah, we were close on that one.
So you had 2 and I had 4? Yeah.
Yes, which brings us to our next segment. Someone eats a dog biscuit.
Yes. So we came up with this on the fly today.
Yeah,
we didn't have any punishments. So I was like, why not eat a dog biscuit?
So these are the dog biscuits here. They are made by Old Mother Hubbard Baking Company.
If y'all need a sponsorship, we got humans eating your dog treats.
Since 1926, Old Mother Hubbard has used the same simple methods to bake our snacks for dogs. Why change? Each home-style recipe is carefully crafted from wholesome ingredients that allow you to feel good about giving them a reward that is hearty, healthy, and heartfelt. So today and every day, give them some snack love with Old Mother Hubbard. Old Mother Hubbard Baking Company. I'm
going to give Richard some snack love.
So,
now, the other part of this
I
get to pick what he gets to eat.
There are 3 delicious flavors here. Liver and crunch. Liver crunch. Sorry, liver crunch is one of the flavors. We have peanuttier. Sounds pretty tasty. And we have bacon cheese, which I assume is bacon and cheese. What do you think liver crunch is?
I don't know, but you're going to find out. Okay, that's definitely the one I'm going to hope that I pick out of this
Are we going to... You go ahead and look through there and try and figure out which one liver crunch is, because I don't think they're fucking labeled.
They're not labeled, by the way, so I have no fucking clue what you're going to get. I'm just going to use my best guess to guess which one of these are livered. So
I don't think it's going to taste too differently. I think these are made with subtle flavorings.
A dark brown.
That could be it. I think these are made with pretty subtle flavorings. It's such a stupid fucking podcast we have now.
We got a light brown.
That's probably
good.
bacon and cheese, maybe. I don't know.
And we got an orange.
Oh, that's got to be peanut butter, right?
No, this is definitely the cheese.
Okay.
So we're going to eliminate that one off the
Okay.
bat. Now we got the light brown or the dark brown. Which one's going to be peanut butter? Probably not the light brown. So we're going to give Richard the dark brown, and hopefully this is the liver that he gets to eat.
Here. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to move the mic a little further back so they don't have to hear me crunching.
Oh, who doesn't want to hear that? It's part of the,
And fuck you, Matt. It's not too bad.
Your eyes would say otherwise.
I think it's good. I might have another one later. No, I'm good right now. Later, after the podcast, because I got to talk a lot.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you get us started on our next segment?
Let's make sure your girlfriend watches this too. We're going to clip this part out and send it directly to her.
Yeah, she'll enjoy this. Seeing me.
Next time she goes to give you a kiss, this is what she'll be thinking about.
I'm not eating a dog's, mouth right now. I'm just eating what they would eat.
Right.
It tastes good. I have another
In the
one.
same realm. Do you
Also,
now here's the question.
Yeah.
What do you think you ate?
I knew this was going to happen. I knew there's not enough flavor for the human tongue.
So you have no fucking clue.
I have no clue. It tastes like it tastes like a really shitty cracker. It wasn't too bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shitty crackers.
Shitty crackers. I'm sorry, Old Mother Hubbard.
Quality you can trust for your dogs.
Do you think Old Mother Hubbard has a Twitter?
Fuck if I know.
Because they're getting a fucking Twitter clip.
Oh yeah.
For sure. If they do.
Yeah, we got humans eating your stuff. You better promote.
It was pretty good. I would eat a bag of that.
There you go. Now,
yes.
time for some news.
Some news. Let's go into the news roundup.
So the biggest story that's happened, in my opinion,
Okay.
is that MLB The Show is no longer going to be a Sony exclusive title, which I think is pretty fucking big deal.
It's crazy. How long has MLB The Show been produced by Sony and developed by Sony? Like, do you know how long they've been around?
Years.
Like 09, 08 at the latest, I think. That's the latest date I can think, or earliest date I can think of. Possibly further back, it's been a thing. But yeah, this is pretty huge.
1997.
Holy fuck!
It looks like MLB
Really?
The Show, formerly titled MLB. So it used to just be called MLB.
Okay.
And then it became The Show, but the same studio.
Whoa.
Which is the San Diego studio, has been producing the game since 1997.
Holy shit.
With two different titles, one being MLB with a year, and the other one's being MLB The Show.
And this, for Sony, this is kind of a big deal because this has been one of their just like landmark exclusives that just gets sports fans. Like, it's a sports game because there's no other baseball game on.
There's RBI Baseball.
Which, who the fuck plays that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So the fact that this, has been locked to Sony for so long and the PlayStation for so long, and now that it's not, it's pretty crazy. It's just weird. It's weird that it's happening.
It's probably due to, I followed the story and it looks like MLB probably had a lot to do with it. Like MLB was probably like, cool, we're gonna extend your contract. We're gonna give you a longer contract, but you have to make games for other systems too, because we want to make more money.
We want other people to be buying the game. Yeah.
Right. And in that turn, Sony's gonna make more money as well.
Do you think? Yeah, they will, which is so weird because they're gonna be making money off of Xbox platform.
Yeah, and as soon as this started to happen, like MLB tweeted it out, and Sony sent a reply out, and then like right after that, Phil Spencer sent out a reply like saying, "Oh, this is great for baseball fans everywhere," something along those lines. Not saying that they're getting it, but
yeah, clearly insinuating, "Hey, we're part of this conversation.
Right.
We're probably gonna get this. We're looking forward to it."
And then my favorite thing was fucking Nintendo just sends out a fucking picture of a baseball on their Twitter account.
So Nintendo to do that. Yeah, that is so cute and adorable. They're like, "Oh, we're here. Hi, baseball. You guys are talking about baseball? Switch? Us, maybe?" That is cool. But yeah, that's pretty crazy news, and it's just interesting to see MLB kind of like strong arm Sony into doing something like that.
I think it kind of was both
it's probably
things,
a mutual thing.
If Sony was going to allow another game to be on another console, this would probably be the one. They're not going to put God of War on Xbox, you know. PC, yeah, for sure, whatever. There's like extra money. They don't see that as a true competitor because it's not a console. But MLB is the only franchise I can see in my mind right now that Sony's like, fine, we're just gonna make more money and no one's gonna really care. Yeah. Like the fraction of people who really go out of their way to buy a PS4 just for MLB is such a small portion, I'm sure, that they were like, well, we're gonna make a ton more money if we just put this everywhere anyways.
Yeah, they're going to make more money just opening it up to all these other platforms than they would just from the purely being an exclusive thing to PlayStation.
Exactly.
And after fucking X amount of years, like 20 years or whatever it is of them being exclusive to PlayStation, I'm sure the people who buy MLB The Show for PlayStation every year are locked into PlayStation because they've
already bought into that ecosystem.
They're conditioned to exactly, and they bought into the ecosystem to do so. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Then we had some more news from Sony for their State of Play.
State of Play just happened for us, 2 days ago?
Yes. Not today, but yesterday. It was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yesterday for us, 2 days ago for you.
And the Nintendo Nindies, which they're now calling Nintendo Indie
World something.
Which is weird. Why didn't you just stick with Nindies? Everybody knew what that was.
Nindies is great. Maybe they just... I don't know.
Fucking Nintendo. Stop fucking with me.
It's fine. We didn't want to go over every single thing that showed up in these just because we're not trying to be a news podcast anymore. We're not trying to make that our central focus.
We just want to go over things that we feel are important to us.
That we're excited about, that we're psyched for. We're going to go through each thing bit by bit. Dreams officially releases February 14th, Valentine's Day.
What a present.
Yeah, absolutely. You can play it, snuggle up with your significant other, your spouse, whoever it is. Did you see the trailer for this? The Dreams one? I didn't show it to you.
I did not see the trailer.
Trailer was great. It just showed all the stuff the game has been putting out for the creators, people playing the beta right now. I actually own Dreams right now.
Yeah, I got a code for it recently, so I downloaded it. I haven't checked it out yet.
It's weird. There's so many cool things on there, and the trailer just kind of showcased all the stuff that has been. I got fucking dog treat on my lip. That has been happening for the past year or however long since they put out the beta. What creators have been working on, and there was just a lot of cool stuff within that trailer that I was really happy to see. And I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited for the game to finally come out. I think Media Molecule has said that they're gonna have a dedicated campaign that you can go through, and I'm always excited about that. But I think the whole
I'll probably check out the campaign.
Check it out. I mean, check out just user created worlds just to see what that's the cool thing about Dreams is you can just jump on, see what the most popular creation is, mess around with it, leave. It's such a cool way to just kind of ingest content with Dreams.
They remade a PT in there supposedly, and I think they started remaking some GoldenEye levels and stuff, which I'm probably gonna go check that out.
There's a bunch of ridiculous remakes, but there's also some really cool just originally created. There's this kaiju thing. Do you know what kaiju is? Godzilla.
I've heard that word. Yeah. I don't quite know.
Any big super monster like Godzilla or Mothra, those are kaiju. But there's a kaiju one where you're this Godzilla thing and you're beating up, destroying a city and stuff, and it looks really fucking cool. Big fan of that. But yeah, I think the rollout of Dreams has been really good. Get a bunch of creators in, have them create a big catalog of stuff to mess around with, and then release the game, and there's already a bunch of stuff to look at.
And it's coming out February 14th. They need to take advantage of this marketing. And here's what I'm telling you guys. Dreams?
Yes.
You guys can steal this. Create a game during the day. Create a baby at night. See you on February 14th.
Is this a tagline you're
Yeah, there you go. It's all yours, Dreams.
Create a game during the day, make a baby at night, Dreams, February 14th.
Yep. You're just creating all day long.
Oh, because
you're creating.
To make a baby, you have to.
Because February 14th. Yeah, man.
I love it.
Don't slow getting there, man.
No, I got it. I got it from the beginning. Now I was trying to help you out, make you feel excited.
Should be excited. Everybody should be excited.
That's good. Media Molecule, take that tagline. Do credit us if you do, please.
It's probably not going to work on my wife though. Maybe.
You don't think you're going to create games during the day and then create something during the night?
I don't know.
Matt just announced on the podcast, exclusive announcement, he's going to have a kid this upcoming year.
It's probably not going to happen.
Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC. The Remind DLC. Matt, do you have anything to say about Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, or should I just...
I'm only going to say this. I own I own all the mainline Kingdom Hearts games.
Mm-hmm.
I played 1. Never played 2, but I own it.
Okay.
Never played 3, but I own it. Probably get this DLC. and never play it.
You'll buy do you know how much this DLC is worth, or how much it costs?
$40.
$40.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's too much for me, by the way. When it's on sale, I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah, just to have it.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever go through Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Do you have an interest?
If I was to get into Kingdom Hearts now,
yeah,
that shit is so convoluted that I would probably try to go back and grab my PS2 copy and pop it on my backwards compatible PS3 and just start there.
No, you have the story so far.
Oh yeah, I do. I have the story.
You have everything.
I have the story so far, so I probably have like just about every goddamn Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah.
I just need to, someone needs to give me time to play it.
Maybe that, like, when we get a capture card and we decide to start doing like Let's Plays or something, maybe like that's one of the first things we do.
I would be down for that.
Try that out.
But we start from the beginning.
Yeah,
because I can't even remember what the hell's happening.
We have to start with Kingdom Hearts 1 from the very beginning. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be cool.
I'd be down for that.
The DLC looks pretty cool though. It looks cool, but it also feels like it's the things I wanted to be in the game to begin with. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but Kingdom Hearts started as a Final Fantasy / Disney crossover. So you had Final Fantasy characters. And,
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Sure. You remember. Kingdom Hearts 3 did not have any Final Fantasy characters.
What?
It was all of its original.
Are you kidding me? I do. I didn't play the game, so I didn't know.
Kingdom Hearts 3, the culmination of this trilogy that took like 20 years.
Why were there no Kingdom Hearts, or why were there no Final Fantasy characters?
I guess they just couldn't fit them in, or they like, I don't know if it was like budget stuff, or like they just didn't have the time to do it. But there was no Final Fantasy characters.
That is weird.
Some of Sora's closest friends are Final Fantasy characters. Squall.
I would have been
Cloud,
if I was a fan, like there's like hardcore fans. I would have been very disappointed.
It was the most disappointing thing about that game. I on the whole really enjoyed that game. Not having Final Fantasy characters there for the culmination of the series just felt weird and bizarre. That said, the Kingdom Hearts DLC is going to have story stuff that features the Final Fantasy characters, so hopefully that makes up for things. Also, Kingdom Hearts, every mainline Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 had a super boss in it. Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII was a super boss. He was like your big impossible boss that you would fight. Not connected to the main story.
Right.
Not in Kingdom Hearts 3. So I'm hoping in this DLC we get that and they make things right.
Hopefully they put some goddamn Final Fantasy characters in there. What the hell are you guys doing?
They already showed them in the trailer, so we're definitely getting them for sure. January 2020. I'm gonna play it. It's weird because it doesn't seem to take place after the story. It seems to take place during the climax of the story. So it's really unclear.
What?
It's really unclear if I'm
Why do you guys have to fuck everything up? Can't you just do things in a normal fashion that people can comprehend?
It's unclear because Final Fantasy 15 did a similar thing where like you would start your DLC like episodes from like the main menu. Fucking hate that because it just feels weird. And it's like it takes place in the middle of the story, but you start it from the main menu, and it is like, it feels like this disjointed.
Why would you make things so convoluted?
I don't know.
And like they had like 2.5 and this and that and like
that's
358 days over. Like just make a goddamn game and make it easy to understand.
Well, that's not Kingdom Hearts. It's not easy.
People are busy. They got shit to do. We don't have time to sit around and figure your fucking shit out.
Matt, I really want us to slowly but surely go through every Kingdom Hearts game.
I will try, but my anger is already flaming, and I'm not even fucking
You're not even playing the game. You're just talking about the DLC. So yeah, I don't know how it's gonna flow with the rest of the game. I'll buy it. I'll try and play it, but I don't know. I'd like it. It'd be cooler if it just took place after Kingdom Hearts 3 and you just kind of went from there. But we'll see. Okay. What else? Predator Hunting Grounds, man, was also shown in State of Play.
I think Predator Hunting Grounds looks pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's from the guys who made Friday the 13th. Same team.
Yeah. It's the same team?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
I believe you.
So Friday the 13th was a little, it's a little janky, but it was super popular. It sold a ton.
Yeah, it did.
So there's the same possibility with this game, and if Sony, I don't know if Sony's dumping money into this or not. I'm not 100% sure, but they do have at least a time exclusive, so they probably give them some money.
Yeah.
And I think you're probably going to get a better product out of it than Friday the 13th was.
I think it's still going to be a janky game. I think it's still going to be a very janky game. That said, I think what they showed was interesting enough for me to kind of get excited for it. Like,
I want to try it out.
Me too. I'd be super down to try it out. Like, I think like the aspect of, being a human with like a gun and you're trying to fight off this like predator and stuff. I think that and all the tools you get as a Predator is much more compelling and interesting than what you got with the Friday the 13th game, which was just a Dead by Daylight reskin effectively. So I'm not excited. I'm definitely not excited for this game, but I am interested, and I'd be willing to try it out. And I think it has more going on with it than Friday the 13th did, and that could be cool. But I do think it's still going to be a very janky game. It just something about the trailer did seem a little I don't know, off.
We'll see how it goes.
We will see.
I'm interested.
Matt, what do we got next from State of Play?
Babylon's Fall, which I'll let you take over because I couldn't care any less about this game.
Really? Matt, do you not like Platinum games?
I don't like what the game is supposed to be like, which is a Dark Souls type of game.
I don't know if it's going to be Dark Souls completely, but I think like just the aesthetic and the vibe of it has like callbacks to Dark Souls.
I'm going to go on a quick rant.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am so sick of hearing Souls-like experience, blah, blah, blah. Go away.
Matt has never, hold on. Matt,
I'm over it.
Matt's
go
not
away.
One of Matt's favorite games is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, correct?
It's a great game.
Bloodborne, Souls titles in general are regarded as the, like, what's the opposite progenitor?
Don't know.
Descendant. Descendant, like next, like evolutionary step of that, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But think about it, like it's very similar. Like you have this large, expansive area that you're slowly uncovering through your exploration, and like you find shortcuts that take you back to like earlier areas and stuff. It's very much a similar sort of thing. So there's I think there is a reason why the Souls-like experience is so well regarded and so well loved. You haven't tried any of them yet.
Sort of have.
You sort of have. We'll talk about that later in the podcast. That's could be a later thing. That's it. I don't know. Babylon's Fall looks cool. I love Platinum. What about Platinum games in general? How do you feel about those? Like Bayonetta. Have you played any of these? Bayonetta, Vanquish, Nier Automata. They used to be Clover Studio, so Okami was one of them. Beautiful Joe.
I own
Astral Chain.
Like 3 or 4 of those games, and the only one I remember playing was Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe.
That game is rad.
That game is awesome.
Awesome.
You need to play some more Platinum games, man. I think you would really like them. Bayonetta 2.
I have Bayonetta. I have Bayonetta 1. I have Bayonetta 2.
Skip Bayonetta 1.
I have
Bayonetta 2.
What was the other one?
Vanquish.
I have Vanquish.
Vanquish is pretty fucking awesome too. That just got announced to get a PS4 re-release, so that's cool.
Vanquish I got because it was like I think it was like a free download on Xbox or.
Dude, I think you would really like them.
I have all these games.
Were you a fan of Devil May Cry at all growing up?
I liked Devil May Cry 1. Devil May Cry 2 was fine.
It's not a good game.
And then I think I kind of fell off playing Devil May Cry after that.
Okay. Like, do you like those action games?
Yeah, they're fun. I like the God of War games. I consider like straight the first God of War games. Those were
for sure.
Great.
It's that kind of game. I'm surprised you haven't spent more time with Platinum. I think you get a kick out of it.
I'm kind of surprised too.
Yeah.
It's just a time thing, really.
For sure. I feel you on that. But yeah, I'm excited for Babylon's Fall. It's another Square Enix Platinum team up. Last time they did that was Nier Automata. That was phenomenal. I'm excited to see if it is a Dark Souls-esque game. I'd love to see Platinum kind of do the exploration and see their take on it. I feel like this studio has constantly been evolving and pushing itself into different areas in terms of areas of experience as game developers. You know, Automata allowed them to like mess around with like JRPGs. When they did a Rising Revengeance, that allowed them to mess around with whatchamacallit, like a more narrative focused game. So they've done a lot of cool stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing them continue to grow, and I'll probably pick up Babylon's Fall. So we'll see. But the big one from State of Play, Matt, Resident Evil 3 Remake, shown.
Looks gnarly.
Looks amazing. I'm gonna let you talk about that while I put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, so the trailer looks awesome. I mean, it's made in the Resident Evil 2 same engine, so it looks just as good as Resident Evil 2 did, if not better. They've redesigned Jill Valentine. I think she looks awesome in the game. I mean, it's more of Resident Evil, but just with a better engine. I think they, I'm all about it. So, I haven't got around to 2 yet. I just need time. Somebody needs to grace me with time where they'll just pay me so I can just get to my backlog of stuff.
Matt, you need a hyperbolic time chamber.
It's unbelievable.
From Dragon Ball Z is what you need. A hyperbolic time chamber.
I don't like Dragon Ball, but I'll take the time chamber.
Listen, this is why you're going to love Dragon Ball. Let me explain to you something I learned about.
How does this come up? Listen, this is the second or third time.
It's fine. It's quick. It's fine. It's totally fine. Dragon Ball has this thing called the hyperbolic time chamber where you can go in it, and if you spend one day in there in real time, a year passes.
Oh, I like this.
Within the hyperbolic time chamber. Hyperbolic time chamber is one of my favorite narrative plot devices
So
ever.
It's speeding up time?
No, it slows down time for you. When you go in, a year for you is a day in real time. So like, let's say...
So if I'm in there for one day, I get a year's worth of time?
Yeah. Exactly.
I like that.
So you go in there, you're there for a year. When you come out, only a day has passed.
Oh my God. I can go to work for one day and I have a whole year.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus.
Exactly. You have a day off, that's a year, baby. Oh my God. And you don't age in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Does it reverse? Do I get my hair back in this time chamber?
No, there's nothing like that. Nothing can get your hair back.
It's growing other places, just not up here.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't need it. Yeah. Embrace the bald, man. Embrace it. So what was I talking about? Resident Evil 3. You need more time. But no, it looks awesome. Yeah. Resident Evil 2. So I learned a lot about Resident Evil 3 over the past over the last day or so because of Resident Evil 3 Remake and like all the information that came out about it. Resident Evil 3 originally came out on PS1. It takes place before, during, and after Resident Evil 2. So, and a lot of it takes place within Raccoon City itself. So it does sound like they kind of planned this all along when they did like Resident Evil 2 Remake to kind of do Resident Evil 3 Remake, which was really cool.
From what I've read, that they actually started making Resident Evil 3 before 2.
Okay.
And then 2, I guess, just started like progressing like way better. So they just finished up 2 first and then went back and finished up 3.
How cool
That's
is
why
that?
it's such a close timeline.
It's so cool because it feels like it just came out for them to like just... And wow, like just Resident Evil in general, like it's been a 1, 2, 3 punch of like 7, 2, and 3. Like they've been so good about
Capcom's making good choices.
Dude, Capcom's fucking killing it right now. They are my favorite Japanese developer at the moment.
And like the fact that they waited this long to tell everybody it's coming out in 4 months, 4.5.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's so awesome. Dude.
Like you're not even gonna have to wait that long.
Yeah, like here it is.
So cool.
It'll be here in 4 months. Like that's why I'm so sick of people talking about. I know you like Death Stranding, but for God's sakes, why did we need to hear about Death Stranding for like 3 years? Couldn't you just shut up until like at least a year before and then start talking about it?
Sony needed that win. They wanted to just show off like, hey, look who we got, Kojima, baby.
It was just an example I'm using, but like all these games are like, oh yeah, we got this is coming. Like who cares?
No, Final Fantasy VII Remake. They announced that in like 2015, fucking with nothing done.
And they pulled it from like 2 different developers, and then finally brought it in house and like.
Same with Kingdom Hearts 3, like they announced it way too early. Final Fantasy Versus. Square Enix is actually notorious for announcing things way too fucking early.
Dude, it needs to be like a 6-month limit. Like if your game is not planned to come out in 6 months, then you shut up about it.
You know who did that, right? The mark that like
Bethesda?
6 months. Bethesda.
Yeah.
For all their faults, Fallout 4. They blew that game out and was like, you're getting it in 6 months. And then they did it with Doom as well. I think.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. So I love that Capcom has like saw that and was like, let's do that with like our games right now and like Resident Evil and stuff. Like it's so freaking cool. But Resident Evil 3, I'm way excited. Like I just everything that came out that they showed for it just has me really amped. Resident Evil 2 was phenomenal. This has made me want to go and play it finally. I've had it for a little while now.
I've had it forever on my hard drive. I gotta make some time.
Yeah, hearing that 3 is like just months away. It's like, okay, I need to put 2 like at the front of my backlog right now. Like I need to prioritize it because not just for GOTY discussions, but because this fucking other game's coming out. And Project Resistance, this like shitty Resident Evil Online game that nobody cared about, it's actually just part of Resident Evil 3. How great is that?
That's a smart move because that game would not have sold well.
I just think people would not have cared. And I don't know. It's cool that like I'm kind of excited to play it now, like because it's something I never would have picked up on its own.
It comes with Resident Evil 3.
Like, yeah, sure, I'll try it out.
Let
me fuck with it. What's it gonna hurt? I feel like we don't really get that anymore. Like it's either you have a dedicated multiplayer game only, or it's completely campaign. Aside from like Gears and Call of Duty, they're kind of rare nowadays. So I'm excited. But that kind of covers the state of play stuff. The Nintendo Indie World Tour also happened.
Yep.
That was also very cool.
I'm gonna use the restroom.
Yeah?
Yes.
Should we fade out? I'm gonna fade out.
You fade it out?
I'm gonna fade it out, baby.
Sorry, I pee real good.
Matt's gonna pee. We'll be back when Matt's done peeing. Look forward to it. Matt's back from peeing. Matt, how was your pee?
Fantastic.
And peas are always fantastic, I think. Unless you got some type of STI or STD. Nintendo Nindies is where we left off. Same thing as the State of Play. We're just going to talk about like the ones that really stood out to us. Golf Story 2 is going to be called Sports Story.
Which looks pretty cool.
Dude, it looks awesome. Adds baseball and tennis to golf and mixes them together. You have like a bunch
of cool, an RPG too.
I know. So
Weird.
I played back, I think it was on the Game Boy Advance, a like Mario tennis game. And it had like this whole RPG like town, city that you were going through and progressing through like a story with. And it was super cool. And this super reminds me of it. And I'm actually super excited for Sports Story. Did you play Golf Story?
I did not, but I heard it was really good.
I might look into it.
Switch game.
Yeah. Switch. They showed some cool stuff at this thing. Streets of Rage 4.
Which looks cool.
Not our first time seeing it, but I think they showed like a pretty extended gameplay, which was cool.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about the art style just because it doesn't remind me of Streets of Rage, but it's fine.
Yeah, how do you feel about like animated like 2D games not being pixel art, like them being like?
I prefer pixel art without a doubt.
This like weird hand drawn looking characters. And
it's probably a lot cheaper for them to do, which is why they're doing it that way.
Yeah,
I understand. Sense. I think it looks okay. I don't think that it looks bad. It just doesn't remind me of Streets of Rage. Like, I definitely prefer pixel art.
You do lose that nostalgia when you decide to completely change the art in the way that they do here.
Yeah, it's very different looking.
Yeah, that's it. It looks cool. Like gameplay wise, like it does look like a good beat 'em up from what I saw. So I thought that was nice.
I'll give it a shot, but
yeah,
I'm just I haven't played Streets of Rage in years, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see. Yeah, but it's coming back. Super Mash, which was this weird, like... This is actually a really cool looking like trailer that they showed.
The trailer was cool. I'm just worried about how this game is actually going to turn out in the end.
I don't think there's going to be much depth to it. To be clear, Super Mash is this game where like you get to... There's this whole narrative built around this idea that you're a person who's able to mix games together and like genres of old retro
like
games.
RPG and fighting, where you can pick like brawler and baseball.
Yeah, and it like mixes the games together to make like a new game for you, and there's like a bunch of different possibilities of what kind of games you can make. It seems like there's an overarching narrative where you're the person like putting these things in like together, and you're going like exploring towns and stuff or whatever. But yeah, it looked interesting. It looked it's exactly what you would want out of an indie game, something that you would just never see anywhere else. A new idea. I don't think there's gonna be that much depth, as I said, but it looked cool. But the big one was Axiom Verge 2, Matt, which you have pretty strong familiarity with the first game, right?
Yeah, I never beat the first game. Mm-hmm. I played it for maybe like 5 hours or something. So I wasn't like completely in there. Maybe it was less than 5 hours. I don't remember. But I played it for a while, and it's awesome. If you like Super Metroid, they basically stole Metroid and like put a different character in and were like, here,
that's awesome.
This is Axiom Verge. And one guy made the whole game. He did all the cutscenes himself. He did all the animations himself. He did all the music himself. Everything was made by him, and it turned out very, very good. If you like Super Metroid, you'll definitely like Axiom Verge.
So we watched a trailer for Axiom Verge 2, and I was just kind of taken aback by how like the quality of the enemies and like just the pixel art is just phenomenal. Is Axiom Verge the same way?
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to play the first one. I don't know how
it's really good.
It just went completely under my radar. I don't know how stuff like Hollow Knight and all these other like really great indie games, Shovel Knight, like really were super popular, but Axiom Verge for whatever reason just kind of seemed to me to not be like a game. I thought it was procedurally generated up until now.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I'll have to check it out. Axiom Verge 2 looked awesome. Some of those like the serpent boss like just looked freaking cool.
Yeah, they have like giant bosses like the way Metroid did, when you fight those big bosses. But you should check it out, man. I think you probably download it on the eShop for probably like $10 or $20.
I'll probably do that. Maybe next time we podcast, I'll be able to say something about it.
Cool.
Speaking of saying things about things we played.
Yes.
Matt, our next segment, what are you playing and watching? We moved it further into the podcast this time.
So, right now, I'll start with what I'm watching. I finished Man in the High Castle. I've watched all the seasons. This was the last season. I was already caught up, so I only had to watch the season. What a show.
Man, so give me a little like background on what this is. It's about Nazis, right?
Yeah, so basically it's like a different timepiece where the Americans essentially lost World War II. So the Nazis have taken over. They basically made a pact with the Japanese, which they did do that. But anyways, the Japanese take over the West Coast all the way to the Rockies.
Yes.
And the Nazis take over the East Coast all the way to the Rockies. And the Rockies is a neutral zone. It's that they actually refer to it as a neutral zone. So there's neither one of them have control over this area. It's almost like where like people go to be free.
Yeah. For sure.
Even though there's like turmoil and stuff because both sides are pretty close by.
Yeah.
So the neutral zone is a very interesting area.
Go ahead.
But the whole premise of the show is freaking awesome.
Speaking of the neutral zone, before you move away, because it's set in the Rockies, I imagine it's pretty harsh landscape, right? Is it kind of viewed that way, or is it not so much like something that they go into?
They don't really focus on the landscape too much. You can see that it's different when they go there.
Yeah.
But they spend the majority of the show is spent on the West Coast in California. Okay. That's where a huge amount of it takes place. Yeah. And the other huge amount takes on the East Coast in New York. Nazi headquarters are in New York City.
Okay.
And the Japanese headquarters are in San Francisco.
Okay. That makes sense. This season that you just finished, is the final season? Or?
It was the final season. It was only 4 seasons long too. Okay. So it's not too hard to get into and out of.
Hit me with this then. Like, as it's a show that has started and finished, does it feel like it wastes any time? Is it a complete story? Do you feel fulfilled with how everything concluded?
So the last episode is kind of predictable a little bit. There's some things that are like bits of a surprise, but the second to the last episode is phenomenal. Like, okay, the second to me, like they could have probably ended it the second to last episode. Oh, really? Okay. It was really, really, really
interesting.
Good. But throughout the show, it's pretty consistent. It starts out a little slow. Mm-hmm. If you watch 1 or 2 episodes, it might not hook you, but by like the 3rd or 4th episode, it's okay. It'll have your attention. Yeah. And the first season is good, and it just gets better from there. Mm. Now in the middle, they I don't want to ruin anything. Yeah. I'm trying to think about how to say it. So they introduce this new thing that happens in the show, probably around maybe the end of season 2.
Don't use any specifics.
Right.
Yeah.
But they introduce this thing, and it's when they introduce this thing, it makes the timing of the show kind of hard to follow.
Okay, so it gets a little confusing with that.
Yeah, it's going to require you to think about where they are and what they're doing and when that is.
This is on Amazon Prime, right?
It's on Amazon Prime, yeah.
Dang. I love alternate histories and alternate timelines, like based off like a specific thing. I think I mentioned to you East of West, that manga that I'm not manga. It's a graphic novel that I'm a big fan of that posits a universe where the Civil War never ended, and like
very interesting.
It's super cool. There's like the Texas becomes its own country. The Native Americans get their own like part of the America and like make that their country. North and South are like still divided as their own like separate countries. There's like all these different like countries that exist. Super fucking cool. And Man in the High Castle definitely reminds me of that.
I strongly recommend you watch it. It's really good, and it's only 4 seasons, and the acting is great. Like there may be like 1 or 2 actors that do like some stupid stuff.
Are there any big names that I would recognize?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I don't want to say yes or no. I recognize there's one guy that has an Irish accent.
Yeah.
I've recognized him from other movies and stuff, but like the main bad guy this isn't spoiling anything because it happens like right away.
Yeah.
The main bad guy is John Smith. He's like the head of the Nazis in America.
Oh, okay.
That actor is awesome. Okay. Like the entire time.
So there's some pretty fantastic performances.
Yeah. It's definitely worth watching.
That's fucking awesome. Matt, you also went to a concert.
I did. I saw Thrice last week, and they are my favorite band personally.
Is it your all-time favorite band?
So I have, depending on when you asked me in my life, I had different bands at different times that were my favorite. Consistently for probably since I moved to California, Thrice has been my favorite band. So for probably like a decade now, they've been like my favorite band. Mm. And man, what a great show. They played an entire album. They played all of Beggars, which is my second favorite album from them.
That's awesome.
So if you guys don't know any history on Thrice, I'm going to give you I know some people aren't going to care about this at all, so I'm going to be very short.
We have timestamps.
If you remember Thrice, if you've heard of them, you probably are familiar with their hardcore music. Yeah. Please go listen to their experimental music. It is so, so, so good. Not that their hardcore music is bad. That's what got me into them to begin with. But go listen to the album Beggars. Go listen to Air and Earth, which is a concept album, and they have Fire and Water also, but Air and Earth is my favorite album from them. Beggars is my second favorite album, and all that is like their experimental music. So please go check that out. It was an awesome show. I thank them very much for playing an entire album. My second favorite album. Really awesome. I got to see it front to back, so that was phenomenal. It was great.
One of my favorite shows I've ever been to was Circus Survive, playing all of Juturna front to back, and that was really fucking cool too.
Yeah, it's rad when bands do that, man.
It's really, especially when it's an album that like, resonated with you in such an emotional way and just like was a part of like a specific part of your life, and you just get to go through that whole album with a big crowd and they're all carrying their own like emotional weight with them. It's cool.
Yeah, because everybody that goes, they advertise this ahead of time. They don't tell you, like, you don't just go there and like, oh, all of a sudden, like, this is happening. Like, no, we are playing this whole album. So everybody goes there with that expectation. So you know exactly what you're going to get. They played other songs too. Yeah. But you already know what you're getting into. So everybody's in the same, like, mental state.
It's cool. It's very cool. So that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, Thrice, I'm a fan of them. I've only listened to them like very passively, but like from what I've heard, you showed me some of their experimental stuff today.
It's so good.
I had never listened to it. I've only like heard some of their more like hardcore stuff.
It's on another level.
It's pretty cool. It's very cool. It's different, but in a good way, and I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
All right, Matt, do you want to talk about Call of Duty and Link's Awakening?
Yeah, real quick. So Call of Duty, I'm still playing. Still awesome. They added some updates. They added some new maps and stuff. They added Crash, which is like a remake from an old map.
Okay.
Crash is pretty cool. It's all right. It's not too bad. It's fine. They added a battle pass, which I'm sure some people will have a problem with.
Oh.
You don't have to buy the battle pass. Yeah. It's just there if you want it. But the maps and stuff are free. So
what do you get in the battle pass?
You get a couple extra guns. You get an extra operator. There's other cosmetics and things. There's 100 tiers, so you can unlock a whole bunch of different stuff.
How much is it? Do you know?
$10.
Okay.
Or 1,000 Call of Duty points. Yeah. I did get the battle pass, just so everybody knows. I did not. I paid for it, but I got called. I don't know how.
Oh, they gave you a battle pass?
2,200 Call of Duty points. I'd never exchanged money for Call of Duty points, so I must have earned these from other games or buying like a collector's edition or something.
Deluxe packaging.
I have no idea, but I figured I have these Call of Duty points that I'm never gonna use because I don't care. Put them towards
the battle pass. Try it out.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do have the battle pass, and I'll let you guys know more about that.
What level are you on your battle pass?
I have no idea.
Come on, Matt.
I don't know. I don't read things. I also played The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
How far into Link's Awakening are you?
Like third or fourth dungeon.
Matt,
I think I just got into the fourth dungeon.
So this is exciting because Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is my favorite 2D Zelda game.
What a charming game.
It is.
It's so nice to be like, I don't know, like games stress me out a lot, and I just end up walking away from them half the time. Yeah. But this game is not stressing me out at all. Like there's parts where I died and stuff, but like it's pretty straightforward for the most part. I can figure things out pretty easily. The bosses I think are very easy to figure out what they're how to defeat them essentially. The island is cool. Like it's weird not having Princess Zelda be in the game. Like it's so weird, but it's also refreshing. It's like, man, this is Zelda, but it's different. Like this is clearly
it feels
different.
like a different character altogether. Marin, how did the island though specifically? I'm very happy you mentioned that because that's actually one of my favorite things about that game is how that island feels like a whole community.
It does. Everybody like kind of like knows each other, and you have to like do this whole thing where you like you'll get something some person wants, and they'll give you something else, and then you bring that to somebody else. So like that's all like connecting different people together. That
trade quest is one of my favorite things ever. Like you'll get bananas from a crocodile, and you take the bananas and take it to someone else, and they give you like a coconut, and like you're constantly trading things, and like that quest line is so much fun to do. And I assume you haven't finished that yet because you have to get you get pretty far in the game before.
No, so I have 3 instruments so far, which is another thing I like about the game quite a bit. Like it's basically telling you that like music will essentially defeat whatever you need to overcome whatever obstacles you have. These musical instruments are the way to go. And getting off the island is how like they already tell you that right up front, so I'm not spoiling anything. Yeah, you need to get the instruments, you need to sing a song, and then the windfish is going to take you off the island.
Yes.
So they kind of tell you what the end of the game is right away.
Kind of.
So
I think you need to finish that game. Do you know what happens like at the
I
end
have
of
no
that
idea.
Game? Okay.
I've never played the game on Game Boy, so this is my first time playing this Zelda game.
You were worried that you were going to drop it if you started like Fallen Order and stuff, which I know you have. Do you think you'll still come back to it and try and finish it?
I think I will because I'm enjoying it. It's not like even Call of Duty, I will get frustrated with at some point, and I'll put it down for a while. But it's something I might go back to. Yeah. But the frustrations which tends to drive me away from things, and the only thing that drove me away from Zelda is that I got Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like I don't want to play this anymore. It's like I want to know what's going on with Star Wars.
Please go back to that game. Please finish it. I'd love to talk about the ending of that game because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's really refreshing playing like a top-down Zelda game. I loved Breath of the Wild. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to go back to that style.
Yeah, absolutely. To see like one of the masterworks of it, because there's so many games that try and emulate Link's Awakening and stuff. Not Link's Awakening, but Link to the Past. These top-down Zelda games nowadays with with
Oceanhorn.
I'd never played that, but like Hyper Light Drifter. Just a lot of indie games nowadays try and like emulate those.
Yeah, for sure. Games. So Oceanhorn was basically like if you looked at Oceanhorn, it's like, oh, this is like a 2D Zelda.
Tunic is another one that I think of, but there's a lot of stuff like that. That's very cool, and I hope you come back to it because it's a pretty cool one.
What about you?
For me, I've been playing. I'm still pushing through Death Stranding. I got back into it after finishing Jedi Fallen Order, which we'll talk about. But I just started that up again. And
why are you still playing Death Stranding? What is making you go back to Death Stranding?
It's hard to say. It's I'm about 35 hours in, so I'm well into the game.
But you understand, like you're on the same page as me that the gameplay is not fun, right? You're on the same page with me as that, or do you find it fun?
So the crazy thing that's been happening with Death Stranding, because I was very much in the same boat as you. I still kind of am to a degree. The crazy thing about Death Stranding is the further you get into it, the more tools they give you for like delivering packages.
Okay.
And as you get more tools,
you're referring to like the bike and stuff like that.
The bike, the trucks that you get power.
Oh, they unlock the trucks. How kind of them to finally unlock the fucking trucks.
It's a video game. It's a video game. They gotta they can't give you everything all at once. They gotta
it's walk past 6 fucking trucks. Oh, the truck is locked. Get the fucking keys.
Get the fucking keys. You know what video games do. They show you what you're gonna have and then you get it later. It's not a big deal. Anyway, so you have that. You have stuff like zip lines that you can build.
That's kind of cool.
That is very cool. So you like build a zip line and it let you go up to like another place. Just a lot, like, because we talked about in a previous podcast, like just all the just different ways that you get to help people out in the game. Like, you can build a bridge or whatever. Remember how we had a discussion about me building a bridge.
That stuff's cool. I like that stuff in the game.
There's more of it. You can build roads, actual roads that like go across the entire landscape that you can drive your bike on, and like building a road and helping someone build a road just adds so much to like that game, and like it just makes everything so much easier. But there's just so many things that the game continues to show me. There's combat now at this point. Like there's enemies and like guns that I have, and trip wires that I can use, remote bombs. Sometimes you'll fight the BTs themselves, and you'll use like guns that have like blood bullets and blood grenades. So there's just so many things happening now that at this point in the game, it's not just delivering packages. That said, the act of delivering packages, while it's hard to say that it's fun, it is oddly therapeutic, and there is almost like a Zen-like trance that you fall into as you're like delivering a package or taking something to like another place. And the game has introduced enough gameplay mechanics in the process of doing package delivery that it just feels like just a completely different game, or like that, a different game than what you would usually play. And it has enough density there to keep me hooked. I think I'm going to finish it. I think I'm going to have a good time finishing it.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean that sincerely.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to enjoy that game, but I'm glad somebody is. Clearly, like, this is kind of how it seems to be going. Half the people are like loving the game, and the other 100%. Half are like, it's not for me.
I think the issue, a big issue the game has, is early on it takes way too long to get started, and I think that's
bloody boring.
There's many fucking cutscenes early on in the game, and I which is funny because that's something I was actually most excited about, the story, which I do like.
They were good cutscenes and stuff, but like, fuck, dude, at some point, give me the control.
Like, let me play. Game. And that's annoying. And then I think it takes a little too long to introduce all these gameplay elements to you, like to get me to the place where I'm dealing with different enemy types and different obstacles, and I'm able to build all these different things.
You're fighting them, and before it was like, when I played, it was just avoidance and like,
yeah, exactly.
Great. It's funny. More walking sneakily around.
And it's so funny because there's actually a point where Troy Baker's character says like, aren't you tired of the grind? Don't you want something? Isn't this what you came for? And then you guys like get into like an actual fight with each other.
Oh shit!
And it's pretty.
Like he fucking knows.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, the game like references it too, which is kind of funny. Very Kojima to do. So I've been playing that. And Sayonara Wild Hearts I picked up.
Indie game, right?
Indie game. Very
music-esque based.
It's basically, I think it's referred to as like a pop album video game where you're going through an album of music.
Interesting.
Like there's an entire album of music and there's an entire game that lines up with the music itself. So, did you ever play Audio Surf or
no?
Oh gosh, there's certain games that like are like rhythm games where you're like going along a track and you're like going along a track to music.
Okay, so you're talking about like DJ Hero.
Kind of like DJ Hero, but instead of like or
like Kinetic.
Kinetic is the one I was thinking of actually specifically. So it's like that. It's that kind of game, but with a ridiculous amount of like just effects and little.
So the whole game is like that.
More or less, but they change things up in ways that you wouldn't expect. Like
you're making me want to play this.
It's
honestly.
Very cool. It's really short. You can finish it in one sitting.
What did you play this on?
PS4. It just came
on
out,
PS4.
It just came out on PS4 recently.
Do you know how much it was?
I think it was $15.
Okay.
So it's like the price of an album.
Okay.
So that's kind of like, look at it that way, and I think it makes sense. The music's pretty great. It's definitely more poppy, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's bothering me. I listen to some pop music, but it's very like selective.
I would say listen to the soundtrack, a few tracks from there, and see what you think. And if it's something that you would get into, I would definitely try out. The visuals are phenomenal. It's got like a story to it that I thought was pretty cool about like relationships and getting past them or whatever, and that was kind of cool too. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's one of my favorite indie games to come out this year. I think it's a great sleeper hit, and it's super quick, like an hour and a half to finish.
That's probably what makes me want to play it the most. Is that I get so sidetracked with games that I hardly ever finish anything. It's like I really have to focus to finish a game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, something else will take me away, and then like I never beat the game. It happens all the time. I've played so many games and haven't beaten so many. Then some other shit.
You start something
along.
Exactly. So this is something you'll be able to finish like within the play session, and you can just move on and have an opinion on. That'd be cool.
I will think about it.
Absolutely. And then the last thing both of us played that we should probably get into. I finished it, and Matt, you're like I think about a third of the way through. Pretty chunky.
Just got done meeting Saul Guerrero for the first time, so that's where I'm at in the story.
Yeah,
and that's not a spoiler. He was in the goddamn trailer. So
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order though is what we've both played. Yeah, where do we want to start with this game? Because this is probably going to be a little chunky bit talking about this game.
Let's start with the positive.
Okay.
What do you like about the game?
I like a lot about this game. I think the story's pretty great. The story's a little bit cliche Star Wars for the most part. Like it goes through the regular motions of a Star Wars story. But that said, I think by the end of it, it feels. I was pretty happy with some of the characters I met. I was pretty happy with the main character. It definitely left me wanting for a lot more with these characters, or just more from this franchise.
Like after beating the game, you felt
like
that
after
way?
beating the game,
I'm a third through, and I think they to be positive again. The characters are awesome. I like the characters a lot.
If you like them right off
the story so far, like that stuff's cool.
If you like them right off the bat, you're going to continue to like them a lot. I guess for me, I just it's kind of by the numbers as far as the Star Wars story goes.
Definitely.
Which isn't a bad thing. It's not a slight against it. It's still
the actors are very good, though.
Yeah, that is true. The performances
actors are awesome.
Performances are great. I think Grease is a little too on the nose, personally. Yeah. I feel like, funny alien guy.
Yeah, the alien. That's the alien with the forearms, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I was like, okay, funny alien guy, got it. You with the gruff voice. I've seen this 4,000 times in Star Wars.
A bit cynical.
Yeah, I've seen this 4,000 times in Star Wars. I get it. Could have done something a little bit different. But the performances are great. Deborah Wilson's character, Sierra, is great. I think, the guy who plays Cal Kestis does a great job too. And there's a performance in there. Have you met the second sister?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Briefly.
Has she taken off her mask? Have you seen
her?
Okay. But her performance throughout that whole game as like the antagonist, I think is great. There's a character later on that you meet that's really awesome too. So performances are all great. It's fun to play a Star Wars game, to be in the Star Wars universe.
It is. I'm glad that it's a single player game. Yep, I'm glad that it's like in a Metroidvania style world. I like that. I like getting to, get different areas and stuff. I still need to go backtrack to like the first world.
That's fun to do. Yeah.
And get the stuff I couldn't get before.
Yep.
I like that you learn new abilities and are able to access new areas with those abilities, like the wall run and stuff like that. I just got the dual wielding lightsaber not too long ago, which is rad. I'm so happy I got that.
Very cool. One issue I have with that dual saber is it always has to be a dual saber. Like even when you're using like a single saber, so like you're always. I got used to it.
You can flip it though, can't you?
You can flip it, but it still has like the extended.
So it's still showing that.
I still see that it's a double saber.
Oh, well, that wouldn't bother me.
It's a dumb aesthetic thing.
Nerd.
I know. I am.
That wouldn't bother me in the slice. I'm like, well, what the hell ever. You just hit a button and it goes to a single. You hit another button and it goes to a double. I got
used to it by the end of the game because I just felt like by the end of the game I'm like, oh well, you know what, Cal Kestis is a dual. Like that's his saber type, and it just felt okay by the end of the game. But at first it kind of bothered me. I got it too early. I think I got it like right away in the game. I went to Dathomir right away, and you can get
I went to Dathomir. When it gives you the first option, because it gives you two options to go to Dathomir or the other planet, I went to the other planet first, and then I went to Dathomir.
Let's talk about like the planets and like how you can go to different planets in this game.
I like that. It gives you a little bit of freedom. That's pretty cool. And like I noticed when I went to Dathomir, I was like, I think I'm here too early because there's a whole bunch of stuff I couldn't access. I was like, I think I'm here too early. But I was able to get past some of that stuff. Got whatever I could get at that time, and then now I just got to the planet with Saw Gerrera. I don't remember names of things. So.
Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet.
Sure,
that's where Wookiees come from. Shout out to Chewbacca and Tarful. No, I think that's an important aspect to have in a Star Wars game, like this ability to travel and go to a different planet, especially like the fact that you can just be like, I'm gonna go to this different planet right now. Like,
that's pretty cool.
Like you're not railroaded to this like linear story that says like you have to be on this planet now and you're gonna be on this planet until you're done with this planet. So I think it's cool to just kind of like, and the way the story kind of weaves you back through planets and stuff. I don't know how often it's like taking you back to a place, but I think
I've been on one straight path for the most part.
Okay,
but I think once I get through Saw Gerrera's planet, I'm gonna have so much stuff that I'm gonna be like, because I played a bunch of Metroidvanias and my old way of playing was, oh, I got this. I gotta go back here
right away.
I gotta go back
saving it. Yeah.
And then I find myself, I gotta go back there again. I gotta go back there. I end up at the same planet like 17 times.
Yeah, for sure.
Where now I'm like, I'm gonna wait as long as I possibly can.
And have as many abilities as I have. Yeah, absolutely. Which is a totally logical way to play. But I just meant more so with the story, like the way the story. I don't know if it's done it for you yet, but eventually the story does send you back to like other planets to do more like.
I haven't had that yet.
So like I just like how that kind of flows. I think that's a really great like. It's a very well put together game for the most part. There's some aside from performance issues, that just feels very like cohesively put together. I like that it draws from so many different things. You have, puzzles. You have Dark Souls combat. You have, which we'll talk about. You have obviously a Metroidvania style of exploration and stuff. Like
that's my favorite part of the game.
It's very cool. It's very fun. Finding new things is always really fun, even when it's just a dumb another poncho.
What are those? I didn't bother putting a poncho on. Why are they even in the game?
I think
something better.
I think the cosmetics could be definitely better, but I do
the
like
lightsaber parts are cool.
Yeah,
I
those
like
are pretty
that.
cool.
But every time it's almost always a poncho. I'm always like, cool, another poncho. I'm not gonna put on because it's just gonna waste my time and it doesn't matter whatsoever.
If
the ponchos give you like an ability, like if they give you like a perk, like +1 damage or something that, like. I would wear a fucking poncho.
I would have liked. I'm okay with it just being cosmetic, but I just wish
I'm not. Fuck that.
What if it was like more different though? Like the suits you got were like completely different. Like instead of just being recolors, you need perks.
I need perks. I mean,
fair enough.
When you play Castlevania games, they give you perks for what you equip.
Yeah, but
and
I mean,
when you first start playing Castlevania games, it seems overwhelming. But once you start fucking around with shit, you're like, oh, I'm gonna equip this with this with this with this.
That management
when you're like
is
a poncho
very fun.
that doesn't do anything, I'm like, nah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's fair.
I'm not gonna waste my time going through your menu to pick out a different cosmetic poncho.
I definitely see where you're coming from. I love cosmetics and make them more different and give me more of them and just give me variety.
I did change my lightsaber color though.
Hell yeah, you did, baby.
I mean, like, come on, man, it's a lightsaber.
You changed the green?
I got a code for the deluxe edition. Oh, by the way, just so everybody knows, I got the code. I got the game for free.
Matt did not pay for this game.
The game. I got the code for free.
I paid for it, so you can trust my opinion.
Yeah, so you can take my opinions with a grain of salt. But I got an orange lightsaber with the deluxe edition, so I clicked the orange lightsaber.
Oh, you have an orange lightsaber?
Oh, orange, man.
That's pretty close to red. Baby.
Orange is my second or third favorite color.
Oh, shit. One of those guys.
Very happy to get orange.
Matt, this is your first Souls-like game, right?
I guess it is.
Yeah,
because I've avoided the genre as much as humanly possible.
I don't know why.
I don't like it.
But have you ever tried any of the other ones?
No.
How do you know you don't like it, Matt?
I don't like this game.
Well, this is unfair because I will say it
to be fair, I have very
let's talk about your issues with the
mixed
combat.
Emotions about this game because I texted you one day.
I thought
I was gonna rip the controller into 2 pieces.
First day you got it, you were not having a good time. I was shook by the text you sent me. You were like, "This game's fucking trash. Like the combat's like not good." You're having some problems.
From my understanding, from what I've read from other people who probably have experience with Souls games, is the game is actually very easy. But I didn't find it very easy.
Yeah, comparatively, yeah, for sure. Well, you had some issues.
So here's my thing. When we're talking about the controls and shit, that's always my go-to is the gameplay. How does the game fucking play? That's the most important thing to me. And it plays inconsistent as a son of a bitch.
Okay.
When I go to block, they're like, no, you didn't block. I'm like, motherfucker, I blocked.
So here's an interesting thing that we're talking about right now because I agree actually a lot with this
especially with the parrying.
The parrying is always tricky because that could always be a timing thing, so it's hard to say.
I don't think it. Look, I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah. I learned how to parry.
You got it down.
I fucking was brilliant at game after. It kind of beat me up in the beginning, but I was fucking brilliant at the game.
I mean, Odyssey is a baby game, but that's fine.
Sure.
But no,
he hasn't played it, so
I still need to. I want to. But I think you are coming at this with 2 disadvantages. One being you've never played a Souls game, so there is a learning curve regardless. And 2, the game is janky combat wise.
It's fucking weird, man.
The blocking, I had issues with that too. I would hit block and he's just like, "No, I'm not gonna block." I'm like, "What are you?" I hit block, bitch. What are you doing?
I'm holding block, and it's not. I'm like. And
actually, with the parrying, I do remember certain moments when I would try and parry, he just wasn't he would do it, but just not do it. I do remember.
He would look like he was doing a motion, but nothing would happen.
Yeah, exactly.
How the fuck did that not
work?
It
clearly registered that I hit a button because he moved a certain way, but he didn't finish the parry or didn't fully commit to it.
Right. So I wrote these notes while I was playing the game. Controls are not tight.
Yeah.
Running feels weird. It just feels like the character's like a puppet on strings. It's fucking bizarre. And you can disagree with me because I understand you do. I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
But it is fucking jarring when you first run in that game. It feels like a puppet on strings. It is fucking weird.
Okay.
And the combat is inconsistent. Those are my first 3 things that I mentioned. The inconsistency of the combat is just what we talked about, man. You hit block, 100%. It doesn't block. That is a fucking fact. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
I've hit the block so many times, and it doesn't work.
I've talked with other friends. They've had similar issues. So I do think that's a genuine issue with this. I get it. It's Respawn's first third-person game, first time doing this level of combat, so it's not going to be super fine-tuned. But the thing is, with Souls-born titles, the reason that they work, the reason that they're so effective is put first above all else. It's tight combat. You always feel like you were in control. You always feel like you fucked up, not the game.
That's the opposite of how I feel.
And that is 100% a problem with the game. That said, you did say that you've kind of been able to enjoy it a bit more as time has gone on. Right?
I've gotten my character leveled up a little bit more, so I think that's helped.
Okay.
I've unlocked some new abilities and things, but it's like. Here's the other thing. Before somebody chews me out about it,
for sure,
I know that there's this shouldn't be in the game either, but there's a timer on how much you can block, and that will go away. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I have my full force power.
No,
I
100%.
walk into a battle, I hit block, and it fucking doesn't work immediately. That is what I'm referring to.
No, it happens. It happens. 100% happens.
So. There's something off with their timing. When I hit a button, it doesn't. Even if the animation's there, it doesn't react the same way.
I think I'm not sure. I'm not technically proficient in terms of developing games, or I don't know exactly what's happening with this game specifically. But I do think when you're attacking, you're locked into the animation of attacking, and if that animation's not done, it won't let you block, which is terrible.
Dude, it's fucked up.
You can't do that in this kind of game. You have to be able to go into that block whenever you need to do it, unless it's the very beginning of an attack. So I think.
I also feel some of the creatures you encounter, or even enemies, they know when you're gonna roll.
Yeah.
And they do a long hurdle at you, the second you hit roll. Motherfucker, how did you know I was gonna roll? How?
That might I don't know.
Like, how did you all of a sudden do a long strike, like, when you weren't looking like you're about
the
to do
tracking. Yeah.
Yeah, like, they're tracking on you is ridiculous,
tracking issue. Yeah,
man.
for sure. That could be a problem, too. So, yeah, I think that was the one portion of this game that needed... there's a lot of portions that need to be, like, polished and stuff, but you can get away with not polishing your environments. You can get away with not polishing, the wall running or whatever it is, but you can't get away if you're doing a Souls-like combat title. You can't get away with not polishing the combat. The combat doesn't need to be as crisp as possible. There's also a lot of camera issues I had where a monster would have me up against the wall. I'm like, well, I can't move the camera and I'm in this wall for good.
Speaking of being like stuck, like you were stuck with the camera, I was stuck in between two enemies, like they were blocking me against the wall, and I couldn't even roll out of it.
You should be able to do that.
You should be able to get out of there, and they were beating the piss out of me.
Souls,
and I couldn't move out of the way.
Souls has like almost invincibility frames when you like dodged originally, so you can like roll through things.
Right, so you can get
the fuck out, so the game doesn't like get you stuck in there.
Exactly,
because it puts game design over sense or logic in terms of like, and it should when it should. So I guess the question I want to ask, and this is getting away from Star Wars, is knowing that like this is not the great, like this is a bad Souls game in terms of like the combat and like how effective it is. Do you see enough there that makes you interested in the combat and like say that maybe I want to try out a Souls game and see what like it should be like, or are you just still like?
If anything, it's pushed me further away.
That's what I figured.
Because look, it doesn't respect my time, and like I get like so. One thing the game has in it too, is I think this is in most Souls games. Like you lose all your souls in a Souls game if you die or whatever. So if you die in this, like you can go back and you can hit that enemy and you'll get like your health back and stuff. Yeah. But there's been points where like I'm in areas probably where I shouldn't be, like where the level cap is just way too high, and they don't really relay that information to you until I die already and I've lost like a ton of shit. For sure. And I'm like, fuck, now I have to go back here, and I've committed to beating this enemy, and I'll spend an hour trying to kill that one fucking person.
Okay. But you don't have to kill him, you just have to hit him.
Sure. I did do that at one point. I hit him, got my stuff back and left, but that was after an hour of me trying to kill the son of a bitch.
Okay, for sure.
And I'm learning that that's how you're supposed to play the game, but it's also just like a complete waste of my time.
It's definitely, to like support your point of being pushed further away, it's definitely more brutal in Souls games, because in this game, like if you lose your experience points, you'll get it back pretty quick. Whereas in Souls,
it's not hard to get back. It's a time thing. Yeah. Now, fuck you. Don't waste an hour of my time.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if we're speaking about Souls, like that would be, you would have that issue too. You'd still be irritated with that.
I would probably never play a Souls game. Yeah, I would get instantly angry and never be able to get over it. Where this is, I got angry and I think I'm getting over it.
But aren't there moments in Castlevania where you die and you lose progress or you lose something?
I never feel like it's the computer's fault. But that I died.
That's what I'm saying.
And I feel like that constantly.
So if you played a Souls game where that isn't the case, where you feel like it's your fault you died instead of the game,
it would help.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see like if you started up Bloodborne, what you would think.
Look, I don't think I'm terrible at games. I can. I don't think so either. Like I can beat Ninja Gaiden 1.
Yeah,
for
sure.
I've never beaten the game, but I've gotten to the final boss multiple times. Like I can play almost that entire game like with my eyes closed. Like I know that game front to back.
I think you would enjoy Souls more than you think. Or like a Bloodborne or something.
So I mean, I know Ninja Gaiden's like regarded as one of the hardest games on NES. So just using that as the baseline, I'm not afraid to play games on. I played Gears of War on like the second hardest difficulty.
Yeah, exactly. So I think those games in a way on their higher difficulties or whatever it is, like Ninja Gaiden, like they waste your time as well, but you're still able to enjoy them because the gameplay is as clean as it is. I do think.
Right, and Gears almost pushed me away because they had a similar problem where I felt like I was getting cheated from some bullshit. And I was like, I'm about to drop the level, but I forced myself to play through it.
100%.
But I'm like, I don't know. I could see myself doing that possibly. Yeah. But it's the same time as if I'm losing all my my progress constantly, I think I'm just gonna be like, fuck you. I'll go play Link's Awakening, where that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, different vibes. I'd like to see. I want to fucking capture cards so we can just play games and I can see your reactions to them.
Oh, dude! When I sent you those messages, I was furious. Like I don't remember.
You were mad.
The last time I got that mad was when I felt like I got screwed in like Call of Duty, like 10 years ago, probably.
You were mad, and I think part justification was like you're partly justified because that combat is janky. But
there's
also
some janky shit in that game.
Yeah, 100%. But also part of it, when I was reading those texts, I was like, He's dealing with that Souls anger that everybody has when they first start a Souls game. So I think you would still have it if you played a Souls game, but I think you would I think you would come around on those games.
I'm pushing past it though because I do like the characters. I do like the story. I don't think it's
Star
a bad
Wars.
game. And I think if they can fix the fucking combat, they can knock a fucking grand slam if they make a sequel to this game and they can fix the problems that I have with it.
When you finish the game, we need to talk about sequel prospects and like what that could be. Because I agree 100%. I'm so excited for the idea of a Jedi, Star Wars Jedi 2, not necessarily Fallen Order, not necessarily focusing on Cal Kestis, just other parts of the galaxy, other timelines, something set in the Old Republic, something focused on Revan. Like that stuff could be so cool.
As long as they fix the combat, I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I think this game has done really well, and hopefully EA gives them more money and lets them,
I think they probably will.
I think they should. Matt, we do have a discussion topic today.
You do.
We do. We talked about the Resident Evil 3 remake. I don't know how deep we'll get into this, and we talked about Link's Awakening today as well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted us to talk about remakes and what we think about them and what we think they should be, and just kind of get into a discussion regarding remakes, because that's been such a common thing. Remasters have been such a common thing with like Crash Bandicoot.
Resident Evil 3 just got announced.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, so we have that. We've had so many things that have come out recently. We have Crash Bandicoot. We have Shadow of the Colossus and stuff. When you hear remake, or when you think about a remake or a game that is going to be remade, like, do you want it to stay true to its roots and be just like a up-res version of that game like Crash Bandicoot? Or do you like when a game takes a little bit more free license and goes a little fucking crazy with it, like Resident Evil 2, like Final Fantasy VII Remake?
The times, they are changing.
All right, I like it. Yeah.
So when Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy came out a few years ago, everybody was super stoked. It got good reviews. Yep. That game sold gangbusters, and it made total sense. Redo Crash, make the controls a little bit better. Kind of still a little janky, but the controls were a bit better. Very graphically, obviously an improvement, but still true to the core.
Yeah,
that was the best we got at the time. And then they made Resident Evil 2.
Wait, I would say the best we got at the time was Shadow of the Colossus.
That's another one.
Yeah, that game was just completely up-res, retained everything that game was, and just made it super gorgeous. Wander's face looked a little fucked up.
All right, I'll give you that. Yeah. That probably was the beginning of
that game was insane.
That was a way better looking game.
Yeah.
They fixed the controls so my dumb ass could play the game, and I fucking really liked that game.
That was so cool that you were able to actually play it now, because
I hated it before.
That was really cool.
I could not figure out the control. Like, I literally bought the game, played it for 5 minutes, and was like, I could never play this game. And I never played it again until the second remake they made. So you're probably right.
Okay.
That's the first time they really changed the game where I was like, oh, this is way more accessible. This makes more sense. And then they made Resident Evil 2 Remake, and then they made Link's Awakening. I'm like, your Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is no longer acceptable in my eyes.
Here's the thing, though. Because those are two very different games, Link's Awakening and Resident Evil 2. Like, Link's Awakening is very much take what was there, make it pretty, and then re-release that game.
You're probably right.
Still 2D. It's still. Like
I didn't play the original, so.
So that's fair. You don't really have that awareness of like how similar those two games are. They're very, very similar. It's almost like a mirror image of that game, just with a pretty coat of paint. Whereas Resident Evil 2 changes so, not just from like what that game looks like, but the level design, like certain doors don't do the same thing. They don't open the same way. Things are moved around to subvert your expectations. Mr. X is a very different thing. I don't even know if he was in the original game.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Okay. Yeah. So like they updated him in a big way. Just so many things are just completely reimagined. And for me, like, that's all I want out of a remake. I don't want you to do a remake, which is very like absolutist to say, but I don't really want a remake unless you're gonna go that extra mile and like re-envision this game from like the ground up. As much as I love Shadow of the Colossus Remake, and as happy as I am that you got to play it because of the revamped controls, that's fucking awesome. Like, I would prefer you to just do something very different with that game, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think, the standards are just changed. This is what's great about video games, is when you're into knowing what's going on with the industry, when you see people making advancements, the instantaneous thing is like, what was before this is no longer acceptable.
Okay.
God of War came out last year.
Yeah.
And this year's Game of the Year awards, like if you're looking at like the top games from this year, none of them reach that height. None of them seem on the same level as God of War.
Yeah, if my go-to is Control and it's not like,
I'm not saying that's not a bad. I'm not saying it's a bad game.
I'm agreeing with
it.
It
is not on the same
it's
level
not like,
as God of War.
It's not that level of polish.
That
it's not that level of like complete package and stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. So
for Capcom to go back and like, can you imagine it? Let's just imagine a world where they just remade Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
And they just made it look prettier.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Resident Evil 3. They gave you remake on 2. They gave you the full remake on 2.
And then just did
a fixed
on 3. Camera version of like basically what they did with Resident Evil 1.
Do you think people would buy that game?
No one would care.
Right.
So you're saying it's a similar thing. I mean, to make a point though, we haven't played Resident Evil 2. That might be the God of War this year. We'll see when we play that game.
It could be.
I've heard really good things about it. But I do see what you're saying. Like, yeah, now that like Final Fantasy VII Remake is a thing, now that and how different that game is from what the original is.
I feel like Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be like a huge.
It's going to put Oh, dude,
I played so smooth.
That game's gonna be insane. But like because of like a game like that, and because of Resident Evil 2, I think the bar for what a remake should be, and whether it has like whether there's a purpose behind it existing, has been shifted. I do agree with that. And with that point, I wanted to ask like what game for you would be like something that you want a remake of, something that's completely revitalized, reinterpreted, reimagined for like a modern day audience and stuff. Like what game do you want to be Resident Evil 2 or Final Fantasy VII Remake? Because for me, I was hoping for Link's Awakening to kind of be on the Breath of the Wild engine and play like Breath of the Wild. I would have lost my fucking mind.
I don't know how that would work, though. I think it would have been too different, don't you?
No, I mean, Resident Evil 2 being like a second or a third person over the shoulder game, like that's fucking crazy to me. Like they did that. Or Final Fantasy VII, like not being a turn-based title anymore, and you're reimagining. But they keep
speaking to me. My problem with all these remakes is they're like, we're gonna make it accessible to Matt now. I'm like, all right, great, all right, fine. I like this.
But I mean, as someone who loved Final Fantasy VII Remake to begin with, and who probably would have loved Resident Evil 2 if I wasn't scared shitless when I played it as a little kid, like I love it. I love seeing a reimagined Final Fantasy VII. Because I still have the original. I still love that game to death. I always will.
So would that have been your choice if it wasn't already like on the ballot?
No, because I would have had no. Yeah, it was actually. I was hoping for a Final Fantasy VII Remake for a while, but I didn't know how much I wanted it to be this different.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, you just wanted like a prettier version, like a better thing, and now that you've seen what it can be, your mind has changed.
Yeah, give me this, where like I can walk around Midgar and like get into combat, Kingdom Hearts style, just effortlessly. Like fuck yeah, give me that game. I don't know. Now, I mean, if do you have one that you want to like? Because I can throw mine out.
Throw yours out first, because I'm still debating in my head. I think I know what my answer is, but it was like my gut reaction. I don't know if it's the best one.
For sure. For me, I think it's Mega Man Legends. I think
a game I've heard much about, but I've never played.
Man, like to see that game, to like have because there's issues with that game. Like the dungeons are very boring. They're very bland. They're not boring, but they're very simple dungeons. So to like see those games, or to see that game like revitalized, given like better combat, because that combat is atrocious. I have major issues with like just the strafing, and the controls are shit because there was no analog controls. So like you had to use a D-pad. The controls are atrocious.
Yeah, they would definitely need to update that game for me to be able to play it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And from even going back, it's kind of tough to get into. So that for them to give it modern controls, like a third-person shooter controls, and to redo the dungeons completely, so they're actually unique and beautiful dungeons, and with actual puzzles and all these like different things that you can do. There's so much that you could do to just elevate it to a ridiculous level. Mega Man Legends would be insane if they remade it. And I've been wanting them to do a Mega Man Legends 3 or like a new 3D Mega Man in like that has the same DNA as Mega Man Legends. But seeing how they've been remaking Resident Evil, maybe they just remake Mega Man Legends as well, since they're on this remake path and they're so good at it. Whoever the team is right now working on these remakes, they know what the fuck they're doing. So if they like gave them Mega Man Legends, like do what you did for Resident Evil, I'd fucking lose my mind.
That'd be awesome.
So I guess that's my big one.
Mine, my initial gut reaction was GoldenEye. But here's my thought process behind this.
You have said this before.
I've had more time to think about this.
Yeah.
GoldenEye is probably my favorite shooter ever.
Yes.
Which is going to be hard to beat. But I'm thinking logically about this. That was a place and a time that's not going to be revisited.
Okay.
I'm never going to have my friends in honestly, middle school, high school, and college because I played GoldenEye through all those times. I'm not going to have a group of friends like that around to play anymore.
Yeah, this is a very good point.
I'm a grown-ass adult.
Yeah.
Finding 3 other people that have free time to go play a fucking game with you.
The beauty of GoldenEye was being a kid and having friends over to play your N64 on your couch with the 4 controllers. You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
I don't think I'm gonna get that back. So even if they made another GoldenEye, I don't think those moments would be real. Like even if it was a shot, like everything was remade the same and they just upres the graphics, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
If they redesigned it, it's not gonna work either because my friends are gonna be in the same house as me, doing the same shit as me.
And they're gonna monetize all the multiplayer stuff.
Don't say that.
Odd Job, you have to. Odd Job is a battle pass unlock.
So I actually, it's probably the answer shouldn't be GoldenEye, even though in my heart that's what I want to say.
Okay.
A better answer that just coming off the top of my head is probably Tecmo making Ninja Gaiden again.
Whoa!
But
the original Ninja Gaiden.
I want a 2D Ninja Gaiden. I do not want a 3D Ninja Gaiden. I don't want your 3D shit.
Yeah.
I want a fucking 8 or 16-bit sprite-based game, and I don't want it to be like you either give me a trilogy for $60.
Okay.
Of games like that are about the same size as the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Or you give me one game that's super fucking long. That's like fucking 16, 17, 18 levels.
You want the Messenger.
I have the Messenger. It's very good. You
It's
should all
very
play
good.
the Messenger.
I like that answer though. That was good. All right, man. That pretty much covers everything.
Yep.
We have no stupid internet questions from stupid internet idiots. I guess I don't know why.
We should probably change the name. That would probably help people.
I don't know why people don't want to send in questions to this amazing segment where you get to be called a stupid internet idiot. You voted for it, you stupid internet idiots. Why aren't you asking us questions? Right?
They should have chosen better. For sure.
Hopefully we'll have some questions next week. That does bring us to our Dual Action Hyper Turbo HD challenge. Wait,
which we have a video for.
We do have a video for it. This is our weekly thing. We haven't done one for a while. We played Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition.
This was kind of a split pick. As Richard picked that we play a Street Fighter game, and I said I have a Street Fighter game that has I have the PlayStation 30th anniversary one, which has I don't know, 10 or 15 Street Fighter games.
A lot of versions of Street Fighter.
So because Richard picked Street Fighter, he's let me pick which one.
Yeah.
The only one I'm very familiar with was Champion Edition, so I picked that one.
Yeah, I don't know if that made a difference, in terms of the quality of my play.
You guys need to go watch the video for it. It was intense shit. The
video will be at the end of the podcast, so stay tuned for that. I want to apologize for being so cocky. I really thought in the beginning of that video that I had this in the bag. Not sure what happened. Maybe it's been a while since I played the original Street Fighter 2. I think my last involvement with Street Fighter 2 was that HD remake that came out on PS3 back in the day, and I was more focused on that engine.
Perhaps.
But I lost, which brings the score to 3. Matt has 3 points, and I'm at 2, so I'm behind. I think we only have one more podcast this season, this year.
We need to make stakes too, because we talked about making stakes since the first podcast, and we never decided.
We need to figure out what's going to happen to the loser.
It'll have to be a little bit better than a dog biscuit.
Yeah, it's going to be serious. It's going to maybe something Twitter involved. We'll figure that out next week. Speaking of next week, we'll get to it actually. What we'll play next time. Next game for Dual Action Hyper Turbo HD Challenge, Matt. We're leaving it up to the viewers.
That's right. You guys can choose which game we play from a subset of games that we've pre-chosen.
Yeah, totally.
Is that English?
You made that sound way more complicated than it needed. Me and Matt picked 4 games. We won't say who picked what, but we have 4 games. The 4 games are Warhawk for PS3, Splashdown Rides Gone Wild for PS2,
PS2,
Time Splitters for PS2,
Time Splitters 2 on PS2.
Time Splitters 2 for PS2, and then 007 Agent Under Fire for Xbox. And these are the 4 games to choose from. We're going to put a poll on Twitter that you can vote in, and that's what we'll play next week, and we'll have a video at the end of next week for you to watch, and we'll see who the winner is. Will I tie it up and keep us tied at the end of the season, or will Matt take it away and take his 4 points and relive what you did today? 4 points for you and 2 points for me.
The glory.
But speaking of, Twitter polls, Matt, where can we find you?
I'm at from NJ to CA, so like from New Jersey and the number 2, California. From NJ to CA.
And I am at Richard Eiley on Twitter, RICHARD. Follow us at Nerdthusiast. That's where you can vote in these polls. That's where you can see timestamps if you're listening to audio only. We post the timestamps to every podcast there. We do all sorts of stuff through Twitter. It's the best way to keep in contact with us. We do little videos on there to kind of promote the podcast. If you want to just know when the podcast is coming out, great place to go. What else? Like and subscribe to us on YouTube if you're on that. Whatever your platform of choice, podcast platform of choice is.
5 stars if you're listening on Apple.
Exactly. 5 stars on Apple. Thumbs us up. Comment. Leave us comments.
Share with your friends.
Share us with your friends. Any engagement is good engagement. We appreciate it intensely. Apart from that, thank you guys so much for listening. Matt, anything else from you?
Yeah, so the next couple of weeks, just want to give you guys a rundown of what we're doing. Yeah. So next week we should be having Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker. We are watching that first showing that night, so we're gonna see it like right away.
And then we're recording the next morning, Friday morning, and we'll try.
Richard decided to go see it like 2 times, like a maniac. He's seeing it 2 times that night,
twice in a row, back to back. Can't wait to watch it twice. So we can't record that night. We're gonna record the next morning. We'll give you our fresh thoughts, what we think, and we'll try and put that out the same Friday, the very next day. So look forward to that. We also might be doing just another regular podcast too, right?
We're going to try to find time next week to do another podcast, another gaming-centric one, just because the Game Awards are happening tomorrow.
Yes.
So we'll have a lot to talk about. Hopefully next week we'll be able to find some time to do that. And if not, just as a heads up to all of you, after next week's podcast, we're going to be gone for like 2 weeks. Yeah, we're going dark for the holidays, December 25th and the 1st of January. No podcast. We're just going to be enjoying the holidays, enjoying New Year's. And we hope that you do too. We'll be back on January 8th. Will be the next time we record, so you'll probably see it on like the 9th or the 10th. Yeah, exactly. So look out for us next week. We'll be there next week, but after that, 2 weeks of hiatus. So we'll double up for you. We'll give you 2 podcasts next week, hopefully. Yeah, plus they're getting 2 this week, so they're getting Ghostbusters. So technically, you're getting enough to fulfill your needs. We're giving you some content to help you through the dry spell in the turkey of Nerdthusiast, because I know you're not gonna know what to do without Nerdthusiast. Right. I mean, how would you? Exactly. Guys, thanks so much. Take care. Be safe. Goodbye. Cheers. Guys, welcome to the Dual Action Hyper Turbo HD Challenge. This is the second one that we've recorded so far. I'm excited. Matt is at 4 points, and I'm at 3 points. Is that where we're at? That sounds right. Wait, we've had like 6 episodes, so that's not possible. I think you're at 3 and you at 2? You're at 3 and I'm at 2. Yeah, I'm up 1 on you. That's all that matters. Yeah, Matt's up by 1. We're playing Street Fighter 2 right now, Champion Edition. We're playing on it's Champion Edition. Playing on PS4. It's the collection. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna destroy you right now. I think you're about to get... We'll see. He's probably way better at fighting games than me. You already beat me in Mortal Kombat 3. And I don't know anything about it. Not a good Mortal Kombat, but still. Do you want to select the stage? I would love to. Yeah. That one. This one? Yeah, I like this one. Or actually, into the bathhouse. Yeah. This one. Yeah. Okay. Matt, how many rounds are we doing here? Are we just doing 1 round? Like best. Well, it's like 3. Well, I don't know what you call a round. So a round is like. Round 1 fight, yeah. So 3 rounds. So best of 3. Okay. So it could end in 2. We're not doing multiple matches then. I don't think so. Okay. So this is it. 1 to take it all. Did you need a practice round or no? Do you need a practice round? No, absolutely not. Wait, I need to pick a character. Okay, well we got 3 so.
How do we?
I forgot this fucking game. Even though it's from like an arcade port, it's like they didn't take out the timer.
No, of course
You're
not.
still on a fucking like you
How do we,
you have like 15 seconds to pick a character.
How do we reset?
I got it.
I would have fucking wrecked you. Sorry, I was loud. Sorry. Getting aggro. Alright, I'm Ryu on the right. You're playing E-Honda?
Yeah, interesting. E-Honda. And I got my stage.
1,000 hand slap.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there we go. How did I fucking not know that was coming?
Okay, Matt. Okay. I'm a little concerned right now, Matt. I'm a little concerned.
You're the one who picked Street Fighter.
I picked it, and I don't know what's happening right now. Okay,
I can still move. There's still plenty of time.
I gotta focus up. I don't know where my high kicks. Okay, there's my. All right, you're fucking done.
Jesus Christ. Oh no.
What's happening there? Oh no. That's it. How are you alive?
Oh, come on!
Woo!
That's horse!
Woo! Alright. I'm good. I'm doing well. I'm waking up.
Oh no.
There it is. It should have been best 2 out of 3. This is bullshit, but fine.
Enjoy.
Take care, guys.
I love my power glove. It's so bad.
What do you want to be? Pick a lane, bitch.